Welcome back, everyone. We have a great guest. We have Ollie from Cryptopsy. How are you doing today?
Hello, how are you? Thank you. I'm great. I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing great for a Sunday, man.
Yeah, sorry, I know it's kind of early for Sunday, but it's
Hey,
that was my only availability. So that's thank you for having me.
hey, way to stay productive on a Sunday, right?
Uh, Apparently, yes, yes, it's very early to for rock and roll. You know, what I mean, like,
Right,
I don't know
right,
if you play gigs on Saturday and stuff like that, but yeah, normally Sunday morning it's very quiet.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, let's get into this. You guys are about to embark on another US tour, and you recently came
yeah.
back from Europe with having 9 records and 2 EPs. As a band, you guys just try to change up your set list a little bit each tour?
Yes, actually, I'm the one in charge of the set list, and
Mm.
it's getting harder every time because, yeah, because we have a new album, and on top of that, we are celebrating the 30th anniversary for Non So While. So it's very hard to condense all these songs and try to blend them to make sense because we need to play a lot of Non So While. We're not gonna play the full thing.
Mhm.
We're gonna play 6 out of 8, which I think is pretty good. And on top of that, we need to promote our new album and the album before that, as Gomorrah Burns. So it's getting harder and harder to put songs from Blasphemy Made Flesh or Whisper Supremacy. So I guess we're just gonna rotate it songs. So if there's a song that you want to hear that we're not playing on this upcoming tour, we might play it next year.
Right.
So just yeah,
And I know a lot of bands like to have a couple set lists going around each tour. Do you guys kind of do
yeah.
something like that?
Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just this time around, just like I said, because of the 30th anniversary, we kind of stick to the same set list for this year.
Mhm.
But normally we switch like a song or two every tour, just to keep everything fresh and for us, it's fun to play different stuff and not playing the same show every night. So yeah, I would love to play way more songs, but
Of
it's
course.
extreme music. It's very demanding physically, and I try to think of flow like my drummer, like because I play bass. I'm not the one blasting for an hour, So I try to be considerate. I try to consider that when I put the set list together.
Right.
So yeah,
And you've been in Cryptopsy since 2012. Being on a handful of records already, with going back and learning older songs that you were not on, do you take the same approach, like making it where it's the exact same notes the other bass player
oh yeah,
played?
oh yeah, oh absolutely. Because before being in Cryptopsy, I was a fan.
Hmm.
So Eric Langlois, the former bass player, I used to worship that guy. I used to study like how he played, like all the little nuance that he did on records and stuff like that. So that was very important for me when I joined to play as is.
Right.
And so later on for my material, it's different. I have a different approach for that. But for all the previous material, like the old catalog, I try to respect the song as much as possible because that's what the fans want to hear, right?
Of course, of course.
I don't want to start improvising or just cut the corner short and play half of what he was playing. No, I want to be the same. I want people like not to notice that there's a new bass player on stage. You know what I mean?
That's
And
perfect.
I never had someone came to me and like, no, the old bass player was way better. It never happened because I tried to emulate him as much as possible.
That's good though. And with what's your learning process when relearning either songs for the old records or your songs, like prepping for a tour? What's your process?
To prep for a tour,
Well, I'm just
uh,
saying relearning like older songs from your
relearn.
even from your catalog. Oh, well, you're part of the catalog.
Yeah, actually, for the old material, because when I joined the band, John Levasseur was still on guitar,
Yes.
and I spent a lot of time with him, and we did like transcription, like tabs
Mhm.
for everything.
Oh
We
shit.
tabbed everything. I have like the Cryptopsy base Bible somewhere in my things, and it's on paper, so unfortunately it's not online. But so yeah, so every time I had to relearn a song, whatever, I just opened the books and and figured it out. It took a lot of time. It took
I bet.
months to do that, and
Indeed.
and it's a shame because I didn't do the same with my material. So
That's
everything
okay.
I did after the self-titled album, it's not on tabs. It's all in my head. So
Damn.
it can be complicated to relearn songs from that era, from the past 10 years. Sometimes there's a couple of songs that I don't even know how to play anymore. It's like it will take me weeks to figure it out.
Do you ever go like what the hell was I doing right there, man? Like, why did I
All
do
the
that?
time. All the time. Oh yeah, all the time. It's and it's the kind of thing that in studio I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna remember. No, no, I don't.
And playing
So
live with your own bass lines, do you switch it up to keep it interesting for yourself?
some little details, but I try to play like to respect the song as much as possible. But just because they are my baseline this time, I try. Sometimes I have a little fun on stage, and I learned a lot from Stevie Giorgio. Huh? Like
Ooh.
touring with him, every night I was studying like how he play, how he think, and I was like, it's cool that you can do that. And now I realize that for my songs, I'm like, okay, I have this liberty, like this little freedom of adding little candy here and there. But
Are you gonna go to a fretless like him and everything? Man,
oh,
imagine.
I have a fretless, but for it won't work for Cryptopsy.
You're like, nope, I am not doing that on tour.
I did one part fretless on the self-titled album. We have a song called "The Redskin Scapegoat," and there's a jazz like interlude in the middle of the song, and I use my fretless bass. But that's it. It won't work for a extreme like section of the song, especially because I play hard and I play with distortion, so it doesn't translate very well on fretless, in my opinion.
And I love asking musicians because I'm a musician myself. From being in the band from 2012, like we talked about, how much has your gear changed from then to now?
Actually, it changed a lot. I mean, I'm still playing Spectre bass,
Mhm.
always been, but we don't use amp anymore on stage.
That makes
So
sense.
there's no stage volume, it's all in-ears. So no more CAD on stage. I used to have the SWR Mekolajet with that thing was so heavy, huh? It was a nightmare to load in. So then I reduced the stack for I have a Mesa Boogie 6x10 cabinet, but still, and now it's we don't need volume on stage anymore with the in-ears. So now it's only the neural DSP.
Mhm.
I use the Nano Cortex, the tiny one,
Mhm.
and it's perfect. It works great, and I don't switch sound during the show. I keep the same tone the entire time, so I don't need like pedals and effects and stuff like that. So I just plug and play basically.
And do you stick
It's
to one
very
bass or the whole show?
I have a backup,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mostly use one bass on stage,
Do you ever
which
get
is
bummed out?
that one. What's that?
Do you ever get bummed out having to switch to the backup bass? Because I know I've talked to other bands who are like, once it's the backup guitar, I'm kind of done. I just want to get off stage. That's what they tell me.
Uh, Not really, because my backup is the exact same bass that I'm using as main, and I really take care of it too on the road. Too. I change the strings and I make sure everything's like it's perfect. So if I switch bass, nothing's changed except the color of the instrument. That's it.
Yeah.
So no, it's fine. On the last tour we did in Europe, it happened to me. I had to change bass 2 or 3 times. I broke a string, which never happened. I break like the low B. I don't know how I managed to do that, but it happened.
The thicker
I
string?
broke one key tuning peg. That was the most bizarre thing that happened. Like I was tuning my bass and nothing was happening. Like I was turning the key and nothing was happening, and the the low B was now like a low G sharp or something, and there was nothing I could do. So we start the song, and I was like, no, 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 it's way off. So yeah, but have you ever heard of that before? A tuning peg failing on stage? That was
I've
the
heard of
first.
that, but breaking a low B is pretty bi crazy when that's like what, like 140 gauge or some shit like that.
Yeah, I use 135. So
Ooh.
yeah, and it just like boom, it popped. So yeah,
And
but yeah, no problem with the backup bass because, like I said, it's the same instruments, and yeah, no problem on this level.
that's always good. And you talked about how you make the set list. Is there any songs you wish you guys played live more or haven't played live?
So many, has so many songs. Like especially, there's a lot of on the new album. I would love to play. I would love to play the full thing.
Mhm.
The last album is in entirety, but it's hard because if we do that, we need to cut what 5 or 6 songs from the set, which will be all the old school. So we can't do that. I would love to play everything from a little bit of everything of every album. Like once was not. I feel like this album is very underrated in my opinion. I would love to bring like at least one song one time. We used to play Carry and Shine a lot. That was fun, but I don't know. I would love to bring one from that record, one from And Then You'll Beg too, because the last time we played a song from that record was 12 years ago, and it was in the middle of a set list, and I remember on that particular tour that song didn't work at all for a reason. Every time we start that song, it was like a buzz kid or the crowd was like, what's going on? Which is bizarre for me because it was the song We Bleed, and that song is like a classic song. It's a classic Cryptopsy song, but I don't know why on that tour didn't work at all. Like the crowd couldn't care less.
That's
So
like,
halfway through the tour, we have to swap the song for a different one.
I think
But
that's
now
the,
things have changed now. Like I feel like the audience is way more receptive to almost anything from the catalog. It's not only because back in the day we had to only play non-survival. That's it. That's all the crowd wanted. But now the more and more the crowd is very divided. We
Mhm.
have like the old school. We only listen to the first two records. We have the people who love the Mike DiSalvo era, so Whisper Supremacy and Then You'll Beg. And we have the crowd who love I don't know, Once Was Not, a little bit of everything. So it's hard to please everybody,
I
you
bet.
know.
Especially with
But
having that many records.
oh yeah, I know, yeah. And we have the album, The Unspoken King. So that album has a lot of controversial things around it. But you know, it's crazy. It's nowadays a lot of people came to us and they're like, "It's my favorite. It's my favorite album. I discovered the band with that record." Like I know some I will name drop it, but the guy Andy from Black Crown Initiated and now Rivers of Neil, he told us that he started Black Crown Initiated because of that record, because of the Unspoken King, because he was like, it's cool that we're allowed to play extreme music with clean vocals. It was really cool to hear that, you know, because when the album came out in 2008, that was not the case, and people were like they hated it. The backlash on the internet was huge. So, but we are past that now, and it's great.
Well, it's hard to find, and it's hard to find people that can actually like make it where you have clean vocals, but you have like, dirty vocals and
Really,
they
yeah,
work well, especially for a song.
very well, and it was because there's a couple of bands that were already doing it in the metalcore scene. You know, like All That Remains, the Kill Switch Engage. It's just Cryptopsy. It was like the very extreme version of that, you know, because in between the clean vocals and the extreme portion of the song, it was very brutal, you know. It was brutality mixed with something beautiful, if I can say, like something melodic and catchy. But just the contrast for some people, it doesn't work and never will. But it's just a matter of taste at this point. You like it or not?
And when
Yeah.
playing live, do you have it where like, because you have to listen to everyone in the band. Is there any like lyrics for you that you're listening to the vocalist sing that just hits you every time that you perform live that you're like, yes.
Actually, yes. But it's very, my God, it's very obscene and vulgar because all of the non-Soviet lyrics are so gnarly. But in the song "Graves of the Father," when he fucking yell, "Our mother's cunt is impure." I don't know. He punched so hard. "Our mother's cunt is impure."
Right.
That one, every time on stage, I crack a little smile because he pronounced the words perfectly. You know, you can hear every word he's saying even when he's doing like the growling vocals and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's very brutal. I like it. I like when you can hear the words. Because some death metal bands they only do like the pipe, you know, the sounds like a pipe or a toilet, which is cool. I like it too. But I love to hear words like proper like pronunciation and stuff like that. Yeah.
Honestly, from seeing you guys live, like I will say you guys have one of the best vocalists out there right now, not gonna
Mm.
lie. Especially with the newest record, like you don't
He found
always
his
get those crisp screams, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, he really found like his identity, like personality and voice in that genre of music. He's so badass. He's so great. And he's so loud. I'm not kidding you. On stage, I can hear him like acoustic. He sing louder than the mix. It's insane. He's like a technician, like a vocal technician, basically. It's very cool. Yeah.
And then I have to ask for yourself, do you have any favorite bass lines you love playing live?
Oh, of course, the Slit Your Guts, the mini bass solo. I mean, I grew up listening to that part and was like, wow, you imagine playing that? It's so cool. Like, so now I play that song every night, and it's such like for me, like a treat. You know what I mean? Because it's like one of my favorite bass part in death metal ever, and I have to play that. And for a reason, I'm always nervous to play it because I don't want to fuck it up. Because I don't want to be in the crowd. I just think of that person in the crowd who want to hear that part. So you don't want to fuck it up and like no. I want to play like perfect and as is as possible. And so yeah, so that one for sure. Slit Your Guts, Phobophile. It's iconic. It's like just the bass starting the song. It's like I'm having a moment on stage every night. So orgiastic disembowelment, like the big slap at the end, so badass. I mean, come on, like all the bass parts on Non Servile are classic. Like it's before that, I never heard any band using slap. You know, slapping bass in death metal.
Mhm.
That was the first, and still today, there's not a lot of band would do who's doing it. So I think it's very original. It really pop.
Oh yeah.
It really pop like because definitely when you think death metal, it's the drums, the vocals, the guitar. The bass was always in the back, you know. But bands like Crypto, Suffocation, Cannibal Corpse,
Okay. Alex Webster,
they exactly, yeah. They bring the bass like in the front some parts, which is awesome.
which we need
Like it's almost
actually.
like the bass. It's like the third guitars.
I
You know.
I agree. We need that as because I'm a bass player myself. We need shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
We've always been known to be in the back. We need like people like that, like Steve DiGiorgio, Alex Webster, and and it's cool. Like a lot of those guys bring not just metal. They're not just metal fans. They bring in other genres into their playing,
Mm-hmm.
like the slap you talk about. It's cool seeing that in death metal when that's more of like a funky thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's almost it was not made to be serious
Right.
because you know that metal is very serious all the time. And I know Cryptopsy, I know for a fact that when they did parts like that, the Slit Your Guts or Defenestration, it was not meant to be like serious. It was almost like let's have some fun and play something funky. Let's put our like groove music influences
Right.
in the death metal context, and it
Well,
works great.
it definitely put them on the map too. That's a great part too, you know?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And then like I like to talk about because a lot of people playing live, you have a lot of stuff translates differently. And on top of that, like you'll have moments where you don't know that you're gonna mess up on stage. You never know. You might have the song
No, no, no.
completely down, but you mess up. Have you ever had one of those moments and how did you recover from it?
I cry. No, actually, yeah, yeah, I have it. It happened to me like a lot of times. When the 2 years ago we toured with Dead to All, and so we had to prepare two set lists because we were playing two shows in every city. And the second night we started the show with Phobophile. So that was very weird to start the show with that because we normally close our show. That's like the last song of the night. So the first thing that people hear from us is that bass intro. Okay. And I don't know, Steve DiGiorgio was side stage watching me, and I got too excited. I don't know. I was way off, like because I had the click in my ear. I couldn't hear anything, and I was way too slow, like way too slow. So I feel like we totally ruined the beginning of the show because of that. So I was like, I was really hard on myself after that. I was like, fucked up in front of Steve DiGiorgio. My God. It was really embarrassing, but they told me that everything was fine and nobody noticed. But I was like, no, 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 everybody noticed.
It
So
takes, I think it takes a musician to notice, honestly, if unless it's like a diehard fan, but
mhm.
you're your own worst critic. So you're like freaking out at Steve DiGiorgio, and he's probably like, "Dude, you sounded great. Your tone was on it."
That's exactly what he did, and I was like, no, thank you, no. But that was the last time I fucked that part up because I think about it every night now. Because before the song started, I'm always like I'm having a thought like, okay, make sure to count, make sure to be on the click. You don't want to live that ever again. You know?
Is that
So,
what's consistently going through your brain when
oh,
you're playing? The one, two. Well, I don't know if it's in 4/4, but you know what I'm saying.
for that part, you mean? Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
no, just in
yeah.
general, like when you're
Oh, just
playing
intro.
live.
Uh, I mean, I don't really pay attention. I kind of feel the click, but it's only for that part because it's the bass by
Yeah.
itself. It's just the bass solo, basically. So I feel like if I miss a beat, it's gonna be very obvious. But Now, other than that, no, I feel pretty confident. It's just that one part because I don't know. It feels. I feel like if I fucked up, everybody's gonna notice, and that's what happened in Santa Cruz. But yeah, I was not used to play with a click too. That was my first tour with Cryptopsy using click tracks, so it was all new for me because we used to use to play with wedges, and that was before we switched to in-ear monitor. Before that, we had like amp on stage and wedges and stuff like that, so no click. So it was like raw, natural. So coming back with them because I was with Cattle Decap for a moment before that, and so coming back with Cryptopsy, it was the click in here and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not used to that thing. I'll try to make it work. Took me a couple of shows, but now we're good.
Do you ever miss it being where it wasn't a click, or do you prefer this now with the in-ears and the click?
I I like it better now. I was skeptical in the beginning because I was like, I don't want to lose that, that live raw energy. But it's the same thing basically because we always try to play on that click anyway. Because Flo was playing with the click in his ears, but the bass and the guitar we had no click, so we were following him. But now that we are all on the clicks, makes everything tighter, in my opinion. It's
Agreed.
tighter. I don't have to think about like, oh, is this gonna be different tonight? Or no, it's always the same. It's always the same thing. So
That's
it
awesome.
really helps. And I feel like you play better too. At the end of the day, when you play on the click, like all my picking are more accurate. It's tighter. It sounds better. So I like it. I like it a lot. And it's cool to hear like perfectly.
You just hear
Like
the endless chick, chick,
yeah,
chick.
exactly.
And then I love asking people, you guys tour consistently. Like you guys are one of those bands that probably tour at least 9 months, 10 months out of the year. What are some of your tour rituals?
Drinking beer. No, a tour ritual. We don't have. I personally, I don't have any like ritual, whatever. It's mostly wake up, sound check, and then going to eat and nap before show. And I start warming up an hour and a half before we go on stage. And that's it. There's nothing really exciting about it. It's really just normal stuff.
And another thing I love discussing, you talk about eating. I love asking bands, what's their favorite place to eat on tour and what's your
Oh,
order?
yeah. All right. So I don't have a restaurant in the particularly, but favorite place to eat beside Montreal, it's San Diego, California. I'll go to any taco shop and order a California burrito. Oh, you know what? No, I have two. One for after show. It's just the best. It's the best food. It's so comforty. It's a new thing. Like I discovered that when I was with Cattle Decaf because I spent a lot of times in San Diego, and I was like, this is the best thing. It's just the best. We don't have that in Montreal, so every time I down there is, I have to. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Pretty, yeah, I know.
You like look at the tour list, you're like, San Diego. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
getting that burrito right
Oh, I know exactly where to go to. Like,
there.
okay, 2 minutes from the venue, there's a spot. This is where I'm going.
They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, Cryptopsy's
It's
on
like
tour.
it sounds funny, but I do that for real. Like when I look at all the tour dates and I look at the maps, so what's around? What's in that area? Is there any good food? Because food is like my favorite thing ever.
Of course.
So, and on tour, like, you miss home, you miss your stuff. So my only little pleasure is a nice meal, to feel good. So it's very important. It makes me very happy.
That's where my follow-up question comes. You talk about that you love eating in San Diego, the California burrito. You guys are based out of Montreal. What's
Mhm.
something when you come back from tour because you guys are gone for a month at a time, sometimes 2 months. What's
Mhm.
something you look forward to eating when you come back, or something you have to eat before you leave for tour?
Poutine, basically, it's our like national dish here in Quebec, and it's every tour I did since 2007, whatever. First thing I do when I come home, I call poutine. there's nothing like poutine to feel like home here in Quebec. Like that's basically the only thing I'm always looking for to eat at least. Yeah.
And do you have a specific place you try a few?
No, 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 no. Just like a classic poutine. No, you know what a poutine is?
Yeah, it's like what, French
Yeah,
fries with gravy and I think
yeah,
cheese curds on top, right? Is that
cheese
what?
curds. Yeah, needs
See,
to
I
be
got it.
fresh and squeaky. Like, so it's the best. Like, so I don't have any spot in particularly, but I just need like a classic cuisine. You because some people would add some stuff on it, or some let's add like chicken and bacon and blah 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 blah. No, three ingredients. That's it. Simple. Yeah.
And then, like I said, you guys tour endlessly. What's the most stuff you find challenging touring?
Oh, living with the other people. Like for me, it's a big challenge because I'm a very I don't know. I like to have my space. I like to have my little bubble.
Yeah,
So waking up and I think 10 person like in the lounge, in the bus, whatever, it's always like, uh, I just want to be alone. I just want my coffee alone. And like I need time to wake up too. So, and I'm not very social in the morning in general. So that's something I need to, yeah, to work on to be, not be more social, but I don't know. I find it very difficult to be surrounded by people at all time, basically,
makes
because
sense.
it's not only in the morning, it's all the time. You know?
For a month.
So for a month,
And
and just like we just did a European tour, and we were four bands in the same bus. That's
that's not
24 people. So not only you have to deal with your band, you have to deal with the others. So it's my God, it's can be complicated sometimes.
and 24 schedules and some want to party and stay up late while you want to sleep.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But that's why in Europe it's cool because there's the
The,
bus. They're double decker, so you can sleep upstairs. It's quiet most of the time. But I try to wake up and when we are at the venue, so this way I can wake up and go directly in the dressing room, and because in the bus there's always people,
right, right,
always there's always people like chit chatting, and I'm like, "Oh, I just woke up. I need silence."
right. And what's
Yeah.
one of your craziest tour stories? You're like,
Yeah.
so many. I can think.
There's so many. Uh, I don't know. There's so many. I can one of good a good memory I have from tour will be touring with Amon Amarth because we were supporting Amon Amarth and it was like an arena tour. So for me, it was a big deal. Like just living that experience for a full month. Like it was really cool. It was different from what we normally do in death metal, like having like proper green room, nice
Oh,
catering, like spaces. Like most of the time, these backstage were it was massive. Like so you don't see the other like at all. Like let's say like Amon Amart, they were like on their side. You don't see them at all because the place is so huge. So that was a different experience for sure, for sure. And playing these arenas was unreal. So okay, yeah. So on that tour, I have one. I have one good story. On that tour, we played my hometown in Laval, and we played at the hockey arena, and it's on the same street where I went to high school. So this is where I started to play bass, and I started learning, and blah 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 blah. So that show was very important for me. Like all my family were there, my friends from high school, from back in the day, they were in the crowd. It was a big moment just to being my hometown and playing like from 10,000 people, and it was a big deal. It was
that's
a
huge. That's
That
huge.
was insane. Yeah, I think still today it's one of my favorite show ever for
Any
sure.
any any school teachers go or no?
No, 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 they didn't. I
Okay.
I wish my music teacher was there, but no, I, he's not a big metal fan. But he was very supporting to me. Even still after high school, he reached out on Facebook.
Yeah, it's cool
He
though.
contacted me and he was like very proud because I'm the only student that actually did something. Like all the other students with big ambitions, they all gave up. They went for a regular job, which
It
is
happened. It's
fair
happened.
enough. I understand why because this business is very hard.
It is. And from
Is
touring all over the world, do you have a favorite place to play, or is there a place you haven't played that you'd love to play?
I've never been to Africa. It's gonna sound weird, but I would love to go South Africa.
Cool.
But other than that, we did so many places. We played in Russia in 2013. That was an experience. Went to Russia, went to Belarus, Ukraine, stuff like that. That was intense. We went to China. We played Shanghai. That was
That must have been
unreal. That was unreal. Yeah. But favorite places? I love New Zealand. I don't know. This place for me is just like heaven. Everything is perfect. Everything is beautiful. I love to go there all the time. It's so far though. It's the complete opposite of the world from us. But yeah, I'm always looking forward to go to New Zealand and Australia. So
see the
we have, I don't
koalas.
know, such a big fan base over there too. And I don't know, they are very passionate. There's something different over there that we don't have here in North America. That's
Have
for
you
sure.
have you done the koala photos like all the death metal bands do?
No, no. But we went to the koala sanctuary, and you need to reserve in advance to get a photo with the koala. So I just walked there and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get in line to get a photo." And the lady was like, "Do you have your reservation?" I'm like, "No." So, oh, sorry, it's sold out for today. I'm like,
I guess next Australian tour, we're gonna see Cryptopsy with koalas
with
and
koala.
kangaroos. I don't know if you
Oh
do
yeah,
kangaroos, but that'd be
I
cool.
love kangaroo too. Oh, it was. Oh yeah, yeah. Because we've been there to the koala sanctuary, and there's hundreds of kangaroos everywhere, and they're like free. So basically, you can go next to them, feed them, pet them if you want to. It's cool. It's very nice.
And everyone knows you as a bass player for Cryptopsy and Cattle Decap. Sorry, had a moment there.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
what's something you do outside of music that someone or a fan wouldn't expect from you?
I cook. I cook a lot. Yeah, yeah. I used to work in the kitchen for a long, long time. I retired in 2021 because I love to cook, but I can't work the food industry. It's too much stress, too much toxicity. So I had to stop that. But still, at home, I cook all the time. It's basically one of my favorite things to do. It's I blast music and I cook. And I can do that for hours. It's so much fun. It's so creative too. It's like it's art.
Of course.
Like I don't follow any recipe. I just create my own dish all the time. And I started to note everything I do, and I should have done that like years ago.
Right.
But I started to write down everything I do, and maybe one day I'll have my own
That's what I was gonna
cookbook
ask.
or something.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
ask metal cooking with Ollie.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, my fiance is always joking about that. You should do that
Dude,
for real. You should do something like a book or YouTube channel, just you cooking. That'd be
the bands
fun.
lead it up. Just get
Yeah,
you can even get like an apron, put a bunch of cool metal bands on it, like
that'd
patches.
be
There you go.
sick. Like
Idea.
yeah, like a battle vest, you know.
Mm,
But
yeah.
that would be like the kitchen vest or what? I don't know how to call it. That'd be sick. That's a great idea.
Dude, you can do video. Dude, you know how like the internet is. They'll eat that up. They're gonna love it because a metal bit. Well, even a metal like cooking like chef type of food. That's cool. It's not
Yeah,
easy.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
everyone can do it. Not everyone could cook.
No, no, no. I know. Oh no,
You're like,
I know. I tour with some dudes that they don't need much, man. They eat like bread and peanut butter, and that's it. And they're perfectly fine with that. And I'm like, I'm not like that. I need a proper meal, and
that's
it's fun for me. It's just like a joy of life, you know. Like
mm,
eating food is so much fun. Like it's
definitely.
after playing bass is my favorite thing ever. That is for sure.
Honestly, I think that's a lot of people's favorite thing after, because dude, you burn so much energy and like
Hmm.
on stage, you just
Oh
exhausted.
yeah. So yes, you need filled up after a show with a good meal.
Right.
It's one of my favorite things too. After show food, it's
It's
so
harder.
rewarding. You
Or
know, most of the time they give you pizza, and I'm okay with that. But after 2 weeks of eating cheese pizza every night, you go crazy a little bit. You're kind of sick of cheese pizza. So that's why now every day on tour, I try to think ahead what I'm gonna have after the show. But that's why most of the time when I go out, I'm gonna secure something for later or
so you're definitely not a Ninja Turtle then. If you're not, you don't want the pizza
no,
every
no.
night.
I can eat variety. Like cheese pizza is fine, but I can do like with vegetables. one with meat sometimes, just to not eat the same thing every day.
And
I can't eat the same thing every day, basically.
I
I'm
agree.
always gonna change a little something. If I do pasta one night and I have leftover the next day, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna add something new to the dish just to
Right.
make difference. Make a difference.
Right. And so another thing I like talking about with bands is when you go on tour, you listen to a lot of metal because you're in a metal band. What's your playlist from day to day look like from when you tour? Do you switch it up? You don't let a lot of bands are like, I don't listen to metal at all.
Oh, I listen to a lot of metal, but just on tour for a reason. I don't listen to a lot of music.
Makes
Just
sense.
in general, just I don't know why. I mostly watch movies on my phone, or sometimes I'm gonna just lay down and listen to something smooth. Like there's a guitar player that I just discovered, and I know I forget his name again. But he played classical guitar, and on the last tour, man, every day when I lay down, I was listening to it and just falling asleep.
Oh
It was
shit.
perfect. Just it's different from death metal, Just
Definitely.
get out of the chaos for a moment and a little moment of tranquility. But no, other than that, like when I hang out at night, I love to listen to metal. I'm the guy who I know some bands have rules like we don't play metal in the bus. No, I don't care about that rules. I'm gonna play whatever I want. Like I love new metal. I'm one of these guys. I love Mudvayne. I love Korn. I love Slipknot. All that stuff. So that's my go-to when I drink beers and I
Oh
hang
yeah.
out and party. This is what I want to listen to.
Those are solid bands. And I always love to ask bands too, like I keep saying, you go on tour with so many bands. What do you take from like them, like learning wise, and take to your own career or band?
Well, it depends what band we're touring with. Like I was mentioning, I'm on Amarth earlier. From them, I learned like how to be very professional because their entire thing is that was impressive. Like to see that, like it was. I felt like I was on tour with Iron Maiden or something because their
Oh shit.
production is just so huge. They have pyro, they have like inflatable, like dragons on stage and stuff like that.
The ship.
And I don't know, just the way they conduct themselves, they were very very pro. So and I was like, that's what I want to be. I want to be like them because I don't know, they I have nothing but respect for them because just the way they work and the way they act in public or stuff like that. Otherwise, there's bands like Dead to All, for
Yeah,
example. They were very inspiring.
I bet.
I wanted to be better, a better musician, just like touring with them, just watching them playing every day. I was like, I want to be at that level. I wanted to be a good musician like they are.
Stevie
Because
Joy is insane.
he's insane, man. And every day they rehearse like crazy. Like they gonna sound check for 2 hours, just rehearsing new songs to add to their set list. Then they never like take a break or something. They always working on something new or whatever. I think it's awesome. So that was very inspiring for sure. Yeah. And Decapitated, they were doing the same thing. They were jamming on stage, playing different songs just stay in shape. To
Yeah,
keep the song in your hand.
right. That's
That's
good. That
some
was good though.
yeah.
And one of the last questions I'll ask you with is, and I'll let you go, is as a musician, what like 4 or 5 albums shaped you to the musician you are today?
Ooh. That's a tough one. Okay. Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of Seventh Son, for sure. Death, Individual Thought Pattern,
Ooh,
because
of course.
of course. I mean, Opeth, Deliverance. I will say I have more than five, by the way. I will say Rush, Hemispheres,
Ooh.
for sure. Geddy Lee is my
Mhm.
hero. I have so many. Maybe one Dream Theater album because I really love John Mayung. I love how he play. I love his work. So I would say I'm gonna go with the Easy Pick, like Scene from Memory, Metropolis Part Two, just because, just in general, this album is undeniable. It's a masterpiece. But there's so many. There's so many others. Like there's Primus that I love. Like Mudvayne, like I said,
Or
LD50. First time I heard that, I was blown away. Like you can really do that on bass. It's blow my mind. Blow my mind. So yeah, so many. Metallica. I love
oh,
Metallica. I love Judas Priest. I love Motorhead. I have all these classic band, but for different reasons too.
of course.
Gene's Kiss.
Yeah.
Destroyer. It's a super important album actually because I got this one. I was 7 years old. My dad bought me a copy of Kiss Destroyer, and I was freaking out by the costume, everything. Gene Simmons, I was like, I used to think that he was the most badass dude on the planet
Right.
with the blood, and his
What?
presentation was so sick. And I always liked band that put out a performance,
That's
put out a show with visuals and stuff. I think it's part of the game. And don't get me wrong, I love bands that just jam on stage. It doesn't need any artificial stuff, but I love a big rock show.
I agree. Showmanship's everything, honestly. Without that,
Showmanship, pyros, and stuff like that. I love that.
all
That's
great.
my ultimate goal is to have pyros on stage.
That'd be sick. Cryptopsy with some
Yeah,
pyro. That'd be
yeah,
very interesting.
yeah. But actually, we are stepping up our game for the next tour. So we're gonna have some new features on stage. I'm not gonna say too
US
much,
tour?
but
On the
huh?
US tour? On the US tour, 'cause I
Yeah,
know you
yeah,
guys announced another, I think you guys just announced another European tour. I think you guys
yeah.
did.
Yeah. We are going back to Europe at the end of July for the festival season. So
That's
yeah,
fun though.
it's
That's always
no.
fun.
Oh, it should be nice. It should be really really cool. I love playing the festivals.
Weather's gonna
It's
suck.
different. Say what?
So the weather's gonna suck though.
It might. It's so hot, huh? During the summer in Europe, they need AC. They need AC. My God.
Well,
But yeah,
with you bringing up new features, my last question would be, what can everyone expect from Cryptopsy? Because you're talking about these new features for this year. What can we expect for 2026?
for 2026, actually, after these two tours, we might take a break and start working on the next album.
Ooh,
So yeah, we are in a we are very inspired right now. So like, let's do it while we can. So actually, we're gonna start writing on the next tour because we write on tour all the time.
right.
I know a lot of bands can do that, whatever, but every time we have a day off, we set up our mini studio in a hotel room and we just write. We write a bunch of riffs, ideas. We all together, the four of us. Like the last album, we wrote it on the tour, on the road entirely. Like
One
that
tour?
was insane. Yeah.
And
What tour?
did you guys do it in one tour? Did you get because I know you
No,
guys tour a
two
lot.
two separate tour. We started, yeah, we did the tour with Dead to All, and then we did a tour with Carnifex.
Oh, I went to
So
that one.
we wrote that album during those two. And something is funny because we set up our studio in the bandwagon, and I don't know if you ever been in a bandwagon, but it's very bumpy and it moves a lot, and so it was pretty funny, man. 2 a.m. trying to record while everything is bouncy. Like, I have an idea. So yeah,
Well,
but
I'd
we
like
work really good like that, so we're gonna just keep on
okay.
going. Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys. I'd like to thank you for all the time you've given me and being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. I'm in the interview